trusting your aligned path and saying yes to you. Today, I'm going live with Jordan, who is one of our founding healers inside of our Quantum Illumination Reiki certification program. And I wanted to share with you her story on saying yes to you and staying true to your aligned path, like really trusting the nudges that are before you and saying yes to you, regardless of what's going on at the moment. Jordan is also a mama, and I'm so excited to bring her on today. Hey, Jordan. We're hoping that our Instagram works. Hi!
Hey,
Oh my gosh. I can see you. Where are we in
woo!
Mercury retrograde?
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, now my little thingy that's holding my phone wants to turn off in the middle of it.
Oh
Hold my
my God,
phone.
I'm so excited I can see you. Every single person. I have not been, almost every single person I've not been able to see. I'm like,
Oh,
here we
no
go.
way.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So I'm so excited to have you on today. And I'm so excited for you to share your story. So if you just want to share a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and anything you're feeling called to share.
Okay. Well, I'm currently in Oklahoma right now with my husband and my three kids, and we're actually I I had been telling him for months. I've been watching all my little tarot stuff on TikTok and whatnot, and I'm like, we're not moving. What do you like? This is not for me. We are not moving. He's like, I don't want to move. And I came to him like a month ago, and I'm like, we're moving to Florida. And he's like, we are? I said, yep, it's been decided for me. Like, we're moving to Florida. So it all just kind of fit in really perfectly. We had already talked about that. I was really interested in it when I first saw it, and wanted to put my own spin on it. And then your program fell in my lap, like literally right after I had decided we were moving to Florida. And I was like, okay, this is where it is. And like the timing of the program and everything just aligns with everything. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So do you have dates on like when you're moving to Florida?
Not
Is this something you're
yet.
manifesting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've given like 6 months to get everything in order. We've got a lot here that we have to, it's got to be
Hmm.
in the right timing. So
Yeah.
we haven't decided on dates yet. Probably definitely within the next 6 months, though.
Yes. Did you decide like where yet? Have you gotten clear on like the where yet?
Not yet. So I'm kind of looking in different areas and it's really pulling towards Fort Myers. So we'll
Uh-huh.
see.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Okay. So tell me about like your spiritual journey as well.
Oh
Like what did that look
gosh.
like for you?
So it kind of started back in 22. I was with my son's father. We had been together for like 5 years, and um he had really gotten really heavy into his drinking. He was a drinker anyways. We both were. I have not been drinking. I officially have not been drinking since like the summer of last year.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
um yeah, he ended up attacking me in front of my 9-year-old daughter. Well, nine now. So my 3-year-old son at the time, and then I would have made her 7. Um, I had, my face busted open and everything. I had my kids taken away, and I had literally nothing. And I knew that, like, I couldn't just sit there. I knew that I had to, get my kids back and everything like that, which I did, a lot quicker than what people were assuming. But that, those are my kids. And it had kind of started, I think I had started kind of waking up before the incident had happened, because I was really telling them, I'm like, look, I can't do this. So get your stuff together or don't. And then that situation happened. It was kind of like the universe, in my eyes, looking back on it, saying, like, hey, we've been telling you this is not the relationship for you, which it was not. Um, so I think I needed that really big push, as horrible and insane it was. I really feel like if I didn't have that, I would probably still be in that situation. So after that, um, I was doing really well. I met my now husband, and we had a roller coaster of a wind our first year of the relationship because that is when I really started. I guess my awakening was last summer through the fall, and like I was dark souls of the night. I couldn't get out of bed. I laid in my bed for months. Like I just couldn't do it. And then I ended up getting really, really sick. And I thought I had like Crohn's disease or something like that. I had dropped an immense amount of weight. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't keep anything down. I was in and out of the doctors. There's like nothing's going on. And
Wow.
then I do my hypnotherapy. And then that started like its own process right there of just revealing everything around me that I had just, been dealing with my entire life that I just pushed to the side and pushed to the side, where I would cut contact, but then would get that contact back because of some life event. But it really just opened it up of showing me everything that's not good for me. And I think that's why Florida is being like, get out of where you are because we've just really outgrown everything about Oklahoma right now.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, every time you say Florida, I get full body chills. You're going.
Yeah, I'm going.
Like you're
That's what I told
going.
my husband. I said, if you're coming, then awesome, but I'm going.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God, I feel that. I tell Matt that too. I'm like, hey, like over the weekend, this is another story for another day, but like over the weekend, I really realized like, oh, Texas isn't so bad.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, but Thursday, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be
yeah.
here.
No, it's
And
just,
then,
yeah, I loved it for while we were here. I've been here since 2018. Um, and this is where my kids have technically grown up, so it's a really big thing. And I think that's why I was trying to blame it on him. And I'm like, we're not moving. And he's like, I don't know why you keep saying that to me. We're not. And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, it was me the whole time. Sorry. God's got a plan for me.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And like the sunshine state and just like I lived in the Panhandle for like 2.5 years
Oh,
and it's like
really?
the whole state is such a vibe in
Yeah.
itself.
I'm just
Yeah.
tired of the cold.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, where's the sun? Where's the sun? So I'm
I
like,
know.
Florida's perfect.
Every time I see you, whether it's on TikTok stories or it's on our training, you are outside. It could be windy
Yes.
AF and you're like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
my
outside.
hair's
Yeah.
flying
I
everywhere. I'm like, yeah,
love
it's okay.
it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
outside is
good.
my spot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel that deeply. So I love that perspective that you said, the situation that you got to, or that, the universe put in your path of the abusive situation that you
Yeah,
were in. And that being like a turning point for you because not everybody, and it's like, not that we ever want to get to that point, not that we wish that on anyone, right? And it's your perspective in
right.
it. Did you have that immediately, or what was that turning point for you?
I would say definitely the turning point is when CPS came to my house, and then,
Mm.
their reasoning for removing my children from my custody was that he knew where they were. And I'm like, it's not making sense to me, and it was so chaotic at first when it happened. It was just really emotional. And I left with my kids that night and had gone home and called my middle daughter's father because I didn't know who else to call. And he ultimately ended up coming in getting her because I wasn't willing to do a restraining order because I'm like, I have a son with him.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that perspective quickly because
Yeah.
I had nobody at that point. I didn't have my kids, I didn't have my family. All I had was him. So when I would get off of work to go pick up my son, like we would sit there and chat, and I wanted to be with my son so
Yeah.
much that we were still kind of, it's like it didn't end, but I was very clear. I'm like, this is not picking up. I'm strictly here to see my
Yeah.
son. And it was just a really tough battle, but I knew through the process that I just kept telling myself I made the right decision. I made this decision for a reason because the guilt is what consumed me
Mm.
with that situation because he was an addict and I felt like I was abandoning him. So I didn't realize until, December when he had finally apologized for doing that to me. It was like a floodgate. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm acting like this. Like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I have worked through this situation and this, and this. And so I learned a lot about myself, but it did not come quickly. It probably took me a couple of weeks afterwards with, him still continuing to try and get in my face and try and intimidate me. I just knew at that point that it was just going to continue. And I was honestly presented with that opportunity recently from him of, hey, like if you want me to quit drinking, I'll quit drinking. If you want this, I'll do that. And I'm like, you're too late. You should have done it when I did it. So it is really just I got to keep grounding myself because it's just constant chaos having to deal with him. And I'm just trying to, keep going and keep going. And
Yeah.
that's kind of my motto is I just keep going
Yeah.
and
Just
figure
keep
it out.
going. Oh my gosh. I think it's so profound, and I don't know if you've ever like thought about this, but you were like, it took me a couple weeks. I'm sorry. What? Only took a couple of weeks. Like we got to put that only word in there because some people stay in that situation and unfortunately for like all the different reasons. And
Yeah.
for you to have the strength and the courage to go through what you did and know that the other side was, going to be kind of a battle,
Yeah.
but it was going to be a battle worth winning.
Yeah. I mean, and it's still a battle. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had full legal and physical custody of my son for 2 years now, and
Mhm.
it's still going, but it doesn't affect me. So I toss it
Yeah.
to the side and next.
Yeah. Ugh. And next, yes.
And
Oh my
next.
gosh. Okay.
It is really hard for people to leave though.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And okay, so you mentioned hypnotherapy. Are you trained in
Yes.
hypnotherapy?
No, I don't know why. It was just like a thing since I was a little girl and I'm like, I'm gonna get hypnotized because
Yes.
I've never had the memory of my childhood. I have zero memory of it.
Mm.
And I always wanted to know why. And for some reason I thought hypnotherapy was the answer. And then over the summer I was just like, I'm doing me. It's time. Like I live my life for my kids, my husband, I've lived my life for everybody around me. And I finally just decided that it was time to focus on me and the things that I've always been pulled to throughout my life, but have never given the attention.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. And like, what do you think that turning point was for you? Because like when you and I connected, like it was quick. It was
Yeah.
like what you saw a video and you were like, what is this? You were in my DMs, you were like immediately, yes, let's go. And I was
Yeah, let's
like,
go.
holy crap. To like trust your intuition that quick, like, and sometimes that's just people's energy type too and the way they
Yeah.
make decisions, which is fine. Like, there's a process for everyone. But I mean, if there was any fear or discomfort there, sure didn't seem like it.
No, and then especially in the beginning, after I'm reading like all these beautiful visuals that the ladies are having, I'm like, ooh, okay, well, we'll see where I can get with this. And, I was feeling really defeated. And then I was like, you know what? I am not going to be left behind in this situation. Like, I am supposed to be someone. Let's get our shit together and get in this meditation and get something. And then I did.
Yes.
So it worked out really well.
Yeah, I love that. For you, like coming back home to you and like deciding, oh, I'm going to do hypnotherapy. I'm going to put me first.
Hmm.
What was that turning point for you? Because I think that's really pivotal for some people too, that they
So,
don't really trust
yeah,
themselves.
um, I was having a really difficult time with this situation with my son's father. And, we were talking a lot because he was really like, let's try again. And I was trying to get him, I'm like, what do you foresee it being like? I said, because this is what I see. And if this is what I'm seeing, like, it's a no go. I was trying to get him to understand and be on the same page. And I think it kind of just made things worse. Um, and I totally just went out of my brain. What did you ask me again? I'm sorry.
No, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, What was the pivotal point for you? Like you mentioned over the summer with like
Yeah.
you diving into hypnotherapy and making like, no, that like I've always put kids first, always put hubby first. Like now it's my time. Let me do hypnotherapy and take care of me. Like
Yeah.
what was that turning point for you?
So it was that situation with him. And like I said, we were in communication a lot. My guilt was taking over. And I remember I was sobbing one day and he had called and he was like, "What is wrong? I can tell something's wrong." And it was literally what he said that really made me go hypnotherapy, and then just everything lined up.
Mm.
Was I was like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like I feel like you don't understand. And honestly, I think I was like teetering timelines
Oh,
because I was like,
oh
oh my gosh,
yeah.
oh my gosh, oh my, like I had a choice. I had a crossroad
Mhm.
that I had to choose from. And so I had to replay to myself, this is why you made the decision. Don't forget why you made the decision. And it
Yeah.
was, I'm crying, crying, crying. And he's like, you're pretending to be somebody you're not. That's your problem. And stop crying. Schedule my hypnotherapy appointment, went to that, and then just the floodgates opened from there on in. But it was literally, it was the craziest thing. Just that sentence to me. And I felt so much better. I knew what I needed to do. And so I just started doing it.
That sentence is so profound. You're pretending to be someone you're not. Because I think that some people, especially in the spiritual community, they like feel that. They
Hmm.
feel that deeply. Like imposter syndrome is a massive thing that we heal in the healing community. And oh my God, I had chills. Like to
Yeah.
just be
And
like,
it
no.
was crazy. It literally snapped me out of it. Like I was uncontrollably just sobbing, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I had determined that that was my last day on earth. Whether, that is what I determined, whatever that meant for me at that time. But then I found out when I went to my hypnotherapy that I was a soul walk-in.
What is that?
Okay, so she's the one who turned me on to this book. It's called You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. And it goes through this woman's process of waking up and kind of her story, but it goes through like ego deaths and,
Mhm.
just so many different things. So after I read that book and I was like, oh, I wasn't sick. Like I was full on like purging ego death, like everything. And because of how I grew up, I had to pretend to be a lot of people to fit the situations I
Mhm.
was in, and it was tearing me up on the inside. But after it was done and after I started my process, I was able to eat again. I was able, like everything. It was intense for a couple of months.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
so
But
with
that
the soul
sentence is
walk,
what sent me.
oh my gosh. So soul walk-in is like the
It's like,
other side of,
yeah, the way that the book describes it, and which I can pull it up for actual reference, was that if your soul is tapping out basically, and there's another soul saying, hey, I got this, whether it was in a contract, whether, a soul contract, whether it was just that right time at the right place. I never really dug too deeply into it because she had told me at the beginning, because I was, telling her my story, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, do you know what a walk-in is?" And I'm like a walk-in freezer. And I was like a walk-in freezer. Yeah, I know what that is. And she's like, no, a soul lock-in. And I was like, oh no. So she had kind of told me, so it may have influenced what I was saying under hypnosis. So I
Mm.
plan to continue to go back and to have her ask that question again, because it was it could have been a little um provoked by her telling me that, even though I was under hypnosis, my ego was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so curious. I'm gonna have to like read more into it because I've
Yeah.
not heard that specific phrase and I'm so fascinated.
Yeah, she said that that's the only book that she really knows of that really talks about it. And it's like a small little thing. I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in the
Yeah.
community so everybody can read it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so interesting, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that could happen. And I'm like, at what point did it happen? It could have it could be like near death experiences is one of them where they'll swap
Yeah.
out, or if it's in the soul contract agreement that the soul switches with this soul. I haven't really gone that deep into it to being able to figure out all of that stuff, but it's just fun information that I found out really early in the beginning of everything.
Wow. I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna write a book one day, I
Yes.
swear.
Yes, please do. Oh my gosh. There's so many people writing books right now or
I
getting ready to
know.
write books. It's insane. Yeah,
I
I love it
know.
so much. Um, and it's almost like that crossroads moment for you where it was like you felt like you were dying and that one sentence was like,
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Yeah, that was, I think, my wake up phrase. It was, yeah, I just felt so much better right after he said it because I knew that I'd known all the roles that I was pretending to fill for other people throughout my life. And it was probably to this day the most intense feeling other than crying under hypnosis that I've ever had.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So good. Okay. So are you trained in any other styles of Reiki or energy work or anything like
Nope.
that? No. So this is your first,
This
so quantum illumination is your first experience. And it's like,
Yep. Yep. And before I was saying like, oh, I'm the baby of the group. And then, someone was like, don't say you're a baby. It makes you seem like you're not intelligent or anything, like you're a beginner. And I'm like, okay, yes, a beginner. I don't want to seem like I'm not equipped to do it. So, but yeah, like I said, at the beginning, I was like, oh, I might have jumped a little further than I thought, but I'm just going with it and I love it. It's been amazing doing the program, and I like look at the calendar. I was like, I feel like it's been 3 weeks since we had a class. When is our class?
oh my gosh, I know because this one has like an extra 2 days because of the
Mm,
timing of last week. Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I love this. And I too remember that feeling as well. Like the way that I learned traditional Usui first, and I remember getting into like a peer group, so to speak, of other healers and feeling like they were so advanced and looking at them in awe and but also having that feeling like, oh, how am I going to get there? But then it was like checking myself and being like, oh, but they were here too. And like your soul doesn't guide you to something if it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
Yeah. So when you started seeing stuff about quantum illumination, what went through your mind? Because I was like, pow.
Yeah, you're like, hey, and I'm like, this is it. It was crazy because I don't even remember where I saw it because I honestly don't really use my Instagram anymore. That's why the message,
Yeah,
like the time between the
yeah,
messages, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, she's been contacting me on there. But I want to say it was on TikTok that I saw it. And, I was engaging, making sure to watch for the full length. And you popped up, and I'm like, oh, she's pretty. And I'm like, ooh, hey, that's what she does. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. And I'm like watching your little stuff on your website. And I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do. So then I messaged you and then I called my husband and I'm like, I'm presenting you with something when you get home. Be prepared. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this right now. I said, you want to pay in full or you want me to put it on payments? And he was like, I guess put it on payments. I said, well, there we go. And we're starting.
Oh
I
my
said, it starts next week. He goes, what? And I'm like, yep, next week.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love
Sure. Is that hole filled? Is the hole filled? Okay.
I love
Sorry,
it.
my son's letting out the puppies.
Oh, don't feel sorry. Normally it's my dogs
Yeah.
this time of day, but because my kids are older now, but they still like it sounds like World War III when they're playing PlayStation and they're like
Oh
yelling
my
at the
gosh, I
TV.
know.
I'm like,
I'm like, oh, calm down.
I know. Last night I had to tell my 16-year-old, I was like, language, bruh.
Yeah,
Check
I
it.
know, bruh. My 5-year-old's
Bruh.
like, bruh, mom. And I'm like,
I
don't call
know.
me
I
bruh.
know.
But
I
then I
said,
realized that I call everybody bruh, like my girls, my husband. I'm like, bruh. So
I
I'm like, I
know.
guess.
I said dude to my husband last week a couple times by accident because I haven't seen him a whole lot because of his hours. And my kids, I'm around my
Yeah.
boys. And he's like, don't call me dude. And then the second time he's like, I swear, do not call me that. And I was like,
Yeah, I call my husband dude, and he goes, "Don't call me dude, honey." And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, like, dude, look at this." Not like, "Dude, what's up?" There's a difference.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the
Oh
kids
my
are the
God.
best, though.
No. Um,
So,
yeah. Amazing. So, okay. I'm like, okay, where were we?
yeah, where
So,
were we?
yeah, with the certification program. So we are 2 keys in now, which is insanity. And I remember when you first started because you were so
Hmm.
new to everything. Your soul was clearly like, we know what's up.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I remember you coming in and I didn't even like when I go in and I start from the top and I'm not reading all the way down. I'm just replying and reading and loving on everyone as I'm working my way through all the notifications. And I remember seeing your you had expressed like a challenge and some frustration and
I s-
and and then I replied and then I went down a couple more notifications and you were like, I did it. And
yeah, you
I
were like, "What the heck?"
was like, so that was like less than 24 hours. You want to walk us through like what happened and what the shifts were?
Ooh, sorry, my little dogs are trying to escape out of a hole.
That's
Okay, sorry.
okay.
I got Carly. Okay, continue.
Yes. So do you want to walk us through what it was that um, was like that frustration and the challenge that you had to like a full blown like visual experience in our meditation?
Yeah. So I remember it was after I think the first bonus, and it was the first bonus meditation, and I was just in there sitting on my bed and doing it. And I don't know, I was just thinking of like everything everyone was writing, and I'm just sitting there like struggling to even keep my eyes from, flickering open. And that's still my biggest thing is as soon as I start to get those really good visuals, my eyes will open. I'm like, ah. So I literally was sitting like this, holding my eyes down, and I'm like, focus. And I was just holding them just enough to where, they wouldn't flip open. And I was like, oh my God. And I literally remember sitting up, holding my face, and I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. And I'm just sitting there with both of my hands covering my face. And I just, afterwards, so my eyes are flipping open and I just start crying, like basically at the end. And I'm like, I got to like I have to be able to do this. And it was really because normally I wouldn't do things that I know that I'm not going to be really good at or succeed at. And that was just probably from everything. But so then literally right afterwards and I'm like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. So then I wrote it, but I showed my husband your responses because I just started crying. I was like, look, I did it. Like, I feel accomplished, and nobody ever recognized me, and she recognized me. It was just a whole mess, but it was amazing. I think it was just the determination. And even sometimes when I'm not getting a lot of visuals, I'll like put my hands over my eyes and I'm like, no, I got to be able to do this without my hands.
Yeah.
Like, I have to.
I wonder if you get like, well, they have eye pillows, but even like an eye mask for meditation. I
Yeah,
wonder if
I was
that would
looking
help.
at that. I'm like, they have to have ones that have a little bit of weight to them or something like that. But I've been
Yeah.
getting a lot better. I realize that the less I try and focus and control the images, then they kind of do their own thing. Um, but yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. So I was super stoked that I was.
Yeah.
But
I was like blown away. I was like, wait a second, what was the timeline between this?
yeah,
Because it wasn't very long. It was like not even 24 hours, I feel
yeah,
like.
no, I
No.
don't think it was. I think it was like 12 hours later because I'm like,
Yeah.
I am gonna be the best that I could
Yes.
be. I
Oh
am
my
not
God.
standing for it. But yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna fail at this. I can't.
Yeah. And like less control is more control.
Which I
Yeah.
I've noticed. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I was even at a point where I'm like, stop, just hold still, just clear up. And then and I'm like, ah, like trying everything.
I love it. And it's like, again, it's that like determination where it's like, no,
Yeah.
I know I was guided to this. I am going to do this. And
Yeah.
it's just like such a shift in your own perspective, too.
It really is, and then I had just, kind of started noticing just a little bit, just a little bit more after, my meditations got better. I felt it more. Like there were so many times I would do it and, baby, shh, please, I'm doing an interview. It's okay. Sorry. You learn to tune them out, so then it takes you a minute to like, oh
I
wait, they're
know.
standing behind me screaming. Um, and then I lose my train of thought. Thanks, bud. I love you. Welcome. But it was a big shift, and I know without the program, I would still probably be sitting in my closet, like thinking about lunch and not
Yeah.
really feeling like I was doing well in my meditations. And now I don't feel like I need the guided meditations as much as I did before, especially with working with the keys and stuff. I'll kind of just sit out there in my chair in the sun and be like, I don't know, let's see what we're going to mess with today with these two.
That's huge to be able to tap into meditation without like some kind of guided. I love that.
I do it a lot more than I realized because I had started reading a book and they were like, you don't have to be eyes closed to meditate, and
Hmm.
I think it was the Joe Dispenza method of something, um,
I
talking
love him.
about, yeah, the walking meditations and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Which one are
And
you
like,
reading?
I'm a zoner. I was reading Becoming Supernatural, but then I
That is
gave
the
it
one.
to is I know I'm like I need to order another one because I gave
Yeah.
it to my daughter-in-law who has crazy, crazy bad cancer right now. And my
Mm.
son-in-law has been trying to get her into meditation and she's open to it and but doesn't want to get in the meditation. I'm like, I'm going to send her this book. And I wrote this really long letter, kind of giving her, my story. And I was like, holy cow, I just wrote 5 pages and I don't even know where it came from. And we're trying to get her right in her mind, and I'm like, maybe this is
Mm.
part of my path. Like she was put in my path to be able to help heal her, but like in the letter I'm like, you got to do your part too. So you read this book, you start getting into some meditations, and then when I am able to help you, I promise I will help you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's got a lot of live events. This is such a side note, but he's got a lot of live events. One of them is in Dallas soon. I
Are
don't know what the
you
dates are,
serious?
but I know, but yeah, you'll have to go to his website and see. I just ran into maybe this is why I ran into him by accident when I was in Austin last weekend. And he was like, I'm going to this Joe Dispenza in Dallas. And I was like, that sounds amazing. I'm so happy for you.
I want,
So yeah,
yeah, I will definitely
yeah.
have to look because, like, I
Yeah.
got the Gaia app. I don't know if you've gotten that or heard of it.
Mm.
It is
Yes, I've
so
heard.
cool. It is so cool because before, I'd like throw on Netflix or whatever, but I'm like, I hate all of these movies. It's
Yeah,
nothing but just bad, 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 bad,
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So I would throw on, they've got so many like documentaries, and he's got a whole like
Mm.
section just of his meditations and how he does things. But there's a whole bunch of people on there, and they've got great like documentaries and people's stories from mushrooms to learning your psychic abilities, how to touch into those better. Like it was really cool. I mean, it costs money monthly, but
Right.
I could
Really cool.
definitely benefit from it because I like to watch everything.
Yeah, right. Oh, so good. Oh my gosh. So how are you using the keys that we have learned so far?
So far, if I'm doing a guided meditation, I try and do a few throughout the day. So I wake up in the
Mhm.
morning, I do my gratefulness, I say hello to everything. And then I kind of start my day with my journaling. Okay, please don't dig for treasure where the pool pumps are.
My kids used to do that too.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
go dig out the pole
The boy,
pumps.
it's a poor, or it's a boy thing, I think.
Yeah. So, I get my son some breakfast, do my journaling, kind of go on my TikTok thing. And right when the sun hits my spot, I'll go out there. And if I'm doing a guided meditation, I'll just call in the keys with me to that meditation to assist with whatever I'm doing in it. Um, and then I will turn all that off, and then I will just, focus on my breathing, and I'll call in the keys, whichever. And I was totally doing what you were doing after the second key. It was like I was calling in the wrong key, and I'm like, no, 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 that's not the one I want. Amore, amore, wrong one. And I'm like, but I'm like visualizing the key, and but I'm saying essence, and I'm like, wait, 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 no, wrong. And so I'll do that. And, sometimes I'm not feeling like a real call anywhere. So I'll just place it on my heart.
Mhm.
Um, and then I have this magnolia tree that's very expensive that has died from our freeze last year. And my gardener's like, I think we're going to have to rip it out. My husband's like, those trees are so expensive. So I was thinking just this morning, I was like, I should try and use the keys. I should use essence
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
tree. And so now I just got to figure out if I want to like do it on the roots, do it on the tree. I don't know how to do it. So I'll just throw some freaking essence at it. So we'll see.
Yeah. I was thinking like the roots is the first thing I saw when you
Yeah.
said that. But even
Yeah. Down on the
like
root.
doing it from the top, yeah. But even like the top and letting it work its way all the way down. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Take
cool.
pictures and keep us posted.
Yeah.
That's,
I was going to, I was like, I'm
yeah.
going to go out, do my interview, take my picture of my dead tree and say, I'm going to put essence into this tree. Let's watch it. Let's watch it grow.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh my gosh. This is so good. So what are you most excited about in bringing quantum illumination? Like, do you plan on using it for you? Are you planning on offering sessions? Like, what does that look like, do you think, for you?
Yes. So when all of this pull to Florida came out, and I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? So I had designed my own cards when I started getting into the cards a lot because I'm like, I'm stopping and reading. So I had seen a bunch of other people make their own cards. So I was like, I can make my own to where it was more tailored for the things that I needed direct answers to at that time because I'm impatient.
Mhm.
Um, and the cards were always telling me, go to the crystal shop, go to the crystal shop. So I was spending obscene amounts of money at the crystal shops because I would take the kids because crystals are my thing. And then like this moving thing kept coming up and I'm like, I'm not moving. And I'm like, oh my God, they want me to move to Florida and open a crystal shop to do the Reiki out of. And that's what I'm doing.
Just got you. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
I'm gonna run it out of there. Hopefully I can bring in my daughter-in-law. She's a yoga instructor. So we
Ooh.
could, like, it's just going to branch into a whole metaphysical shop. Yes, buddy.
I'm finding a lot of dirt rock treasure.
A lot of dirt rock treasure.
Yeah, everyone come see.
I sure do.
They, they,
Oh my gosh. So
Hour,
cute.
2 minutes. But yeah, so that's the plan this far is I like it kept popping out. So I was just assuming the wrong thing. And it was after I had my really great visuals within that 12-hour span. And I was like, oh my God, that's what it's saying. It wants me to open up a crystal shop.
Oh my gosh.
And
A
it,
chill again. And
yeah,
so
I just knew.
like so often people are like, can it really work at a subconscious level? Yes, we're not even using, there is a specific key that dives deep into the subconscious. These keys that we've learned so far are not even specific for the subconscious, but they do heal at a subconscious level. And that right there is proof of that because it's like now it's in your awareness. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer.
And
And then boom, there it is.
it was right afterwards too. I woke up and I was like, wow, that was awesome. I feel great. And then it was like crystal shop. Oh, it wants me to open one.
Yeah.
It was like, but I like wrote it down in my journal all sloppy, and I'm like, I figured it out, and it's like this little sentence, and it's just all sloppy, and then I ran away from it, and so it's just that one page in my journal still that I figured it out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, oh my God. I'm so freaking excited for
I know,
you.
I can't wait.
Like, oh, it's gonna be so amazing.
Yeah,
Is
and
there
then
any,
it's always talking about collaborating and all that other stuff, so it's just a work in motion.
yeah, and it's really like that deep trust too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
big
lot of
time.
trust.
Yeah.
Can you stop breathing at me, please?
So, is there anything we didn't cover that you're like, man, I wish we would have chatted about this?
Um, Not that I can think of. Like, you're so involved with the community, which I'm always like, oh, she's so involved. I love that. You have people who are like, yeah, we'll totally be in the Q&A, and then no, they never show up. So I'm super grateful for you for being involved in
Oh,
the community
thank
like that,
you.
because I read everybody's stories, and then you respond to every single person, and you've got a really great thing going on, and you're a special gal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know that was like one thing for me when I was like, when I build this Reiki school, what do I want this to look like? Like, what was not that like everybody's always just doing their best and doing what's aligned for them, but I was like, it's the human connection. Like, we got to have the human
Yeah.
connection. And it's like, even when this eventually goes to evergreen, meaning they'll be able to tap into the videos right away, I'm like, I'm still in the community because that piece is important. Like, how are we supposed to learn if we're not connected?
Yeah.
So, thank you, Lori. Hey, ladies, such an amazing community. And later, yeah, you guys have created like this community, and it is so freaking epic. Like,
Yeah.
I love it so much. Thank you. If someone was on the edge thinking about joining, what would you say to them?
Do it. Do it. Yeah, because like I was so gung ho for it, but that's just kind of how I am. If I think about it and I'll put it like procrastinate, put it off to the side, and then if I see it again, I'm like, I guess I'm jumping. So jump. So just jump. I would
Ah,
I love the community. I love the class. I love everything about how you do it. And you especially, like, I think you were a big grabber for me for the program because I was like, there's something about her.
yeah,
Like, I know this is the girl versus that course, or,
yeah.
the other people who are like, I will train you, blah, blah, blah. It was something about you that I just was like, that's the girl that's going to teach me what I need to know.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. I love how you multitask mama. You're like, yeah, look at
Yeah.
your rock. No, let's not let the dogs outside. Like,
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. I had a great talk.
yeah. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in our community.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, you guys, that was so fun. If you missed any of that, go back and listen. It's going to be on my IG if you want to watch it. If you want to listen to it, I'm going to put it on Sacred Whisper this week. I don't know what episode. We're like getting up there in episodes, which is so freaking epic. But I'm so excited. And so our next, I don't know why gonna say the word cohort because I never use that word, but cohort. Our next live teaching of Quantum Illumination Reiki certification program is in June. And so if you want in, you can jump in now and we'll get you set up ready to rock. So when we start in June, you'll be ready to go. And you can now add on our retreat, our embody retreat, where we are going to be deepening the embodiment of being a quantum illumination Reiki healer, as well as the healer that you know you are meant to be and what it is that you know you're here to do and give in the world. So often we are seeing, I don't know if you guys can hear my dog snoring. He is a big snorer anyway. So often we hear and see the words embodiment, and it's kind of thrown around a lot in the space. And what I really love about embodiment is that it's really coming home to the essence of you. It's not something extra you have to do. It's more of who you are and more of who it is that you are going to be. Yes, DM me. Let's talk. And it's about your essence. It's about coming home to you, who it is that you're here to be at the soul level. And it's through that embodied action, right? And I'm actually going through this myself right now because you guys may have seen I went to a freaking massive event over the weekend that was a last minute. I've seen it and then I was like a last minute decision. I was like, wait a minute, I said I was gonna go. I'm going. I forgot to buy tickets. And so I went. And this week I'm really deep in the embodiment. Like making that decision was a deep embodiment decision. I could have said no, but I decided no. I'm the woman that commits to her word. I said I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And throughout the whole weekend, I was in the embodiment of what it was that I wanted to do, how it was that I wanted to show up, the energy that I wanted to be, the alignment that I wanted to be in, the people that I wanted to connect with. I'm like, I would look around the room and I would kind of scan the energy and I'm like, I want to talk to you. That's how I am in person. But I was like, it's us. And every single time there would be a connection there. And I love that. And this week is really about deepening the embodiment because otherwise, I said this last night on my live, otherwise it's just words. It's just inspiration and that's great, but it's not sustainable. It's about coming home to you. So that's what we're going to be doing is through specific activities, through specific engagement, through specific healing practices, we're going to be coming home to you. So if that feels like you and you want to add it on to your certification program, or if you're not in the certification program and you want to bundle it together, you can bundle it together as well. Just DM me the word retreat and we'll talk about the information and get you signed up and ready to rock if you're feeling in line. We only have 3 spots left. So if you're thinking about it, now's the time to jump and trust your intuition. And you guys go hang out with Jordan. I'm going to leave her TikTok because I know she's most active there. Oh my God, you're going to love her on there. So I will leave that so you can go hang out with her there. If you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.